The Bells are back, baby. The Bells are back for season 2 of Belle Collective. And y'all know we got to get into this ponderosa about one of our favorite shows that's finally back in action, okay? The bells are ringing, okay? So let's get into it. Let's just dive on in, right? Because I'm super excited. I know we have a fantastic season ahead of us based on the trailer alone. But what would I rate this first episode on a scale of 1 to 10? And what would you rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10? Go ahead and let me know in the chatterization because I'm going to go ahead and tell you for me, him, I'm giving this thing a 10, baby. 10 right out the gate. Listen, when I tell you this surprised me. I did not expect to nearly be in tears, okay, listening to Miss Marie Monroe and her story and the things that have transpired recently for her. When we get to that part of the episode, man, I didn't even know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? If you follow her on social media, she has been very open about, her own health struggles and stuff like that. And, I really find myself feeling for her. She opens up here in such a way that these ladies, they give it to us, right? Like nothing's off the table. They give it all to us. And for a reality TV show, without necessarily some big, celebrity name that's trying to curate their image, there's a good portion of these ladies that I feel like are so raw in this episode, particularly Latisha and Marie in this episode, baby. They bring it and they open up. And then there's some drama brewing ahead for Miss Tambra Cherie that we just dive right into head first, okay? And we meet a new Belle. They're giving us, I like when it's two. First of all, I always say 2 new cast members is better than 1 because the burden of being a great reality TV star does not fall on the one person, okay? It is shared by 2 people, which means that there's an extra source of potential conflict naturally inherent in 2 new people in the mix. Of course, taking the place of the dentist from last season, Dr. Antoinette Lyles, who is no longer with the collective. Okay. And we even, of course, have the friends back. Miss Melanie, I think her name is, who is the PR person for Latrice, is heavily featured here, as well as Marie's friend, Essie, who you guys may remember from last season. Okay. So there's so much going on here that we just need to dive right in. This episode gave me everything that I needed to start this season off and to get super excited about it. So anyway, let's get into it. Right off the rip, we get a new intro featuring all of the men who are in the lives of the women who are in relationships. We noticeably do not get an opening credit sequence for Marie and Cedric, who you guys may recall from, I think she's still married to him from last season. Are they married? I cannot recall what they are. But we get Marie solo in the opening credits. So that is very interesting as well. Did we get Tambra solo? I can't remember now. I gotta go back and watch that to see. Let me know in the chatterization if she was solo in her intro or not. Okay. I have been making notes and recording shows all morning long, so it's been a lot going on. Meanwhile, so we get the episode starting with Latrice at her mansion. Okay, this mansion is a bad mama jamma, baby, from the bike. Okay, when you look at that thing from the bike and you see that pool and the way it's set up, it's just, I mean, it's given. Okay, so she's making breakfast for Zaddy. Okay, We learned that she is new improved with a little chesticle lift. She got Grace and Mercy Jr. going on. As I said, she's cooking zaddy breakfast and she's on the phone with her publicist while they are planning a high tea to reconnect all the ladies for the first event of the season. Okay. Now, we are reminded of her 20-year age difference with Zaddy, and we learned that Zaddy got 5 kids, and 4 of them are sons. And apparently, the kids don't always give Miss Latrice the respect that she feels like she deserves because they are so close in age. And even with, Zaddy's daughter, she has more of a sister type homegirl relationship than more of a stepmom. So Zaddy wants to have another baby, and she don't want another baby. She thinks that he wants her to have a baby so she will slow down, but he thinks that she wouldn't ever slow down. Now, in the confessional, he says that there's more than one way to get a baby, and then she responds and says, "Oh, you gonna do a Glen?" Referring to Letitia's man, Glen, who we learn may or may not have an outside baby based on what happened at the reunion last season. And then Latrice kindly lets him know, and if you do, we will get a divorce. Okay, because her businesses are popping and booming. Speaking of Leticia, she mentions that things have changed, and we get. I like the intro sequences here in this show. I like, I mean, every woman and listen, everybody on the show is a boss, and they are given the appropriate introductions. I mean, they are. I would almost call them vanity introductions because they are glamorous. They almost look like music videos when the person appears on the screen. Love and Hip Hop was notorious for that. But the problem that I have with Love and Hip Hop sometimes is that the stuff just don't be feeling real. Whereas to hear, this feels like these are these people's real lives and they are letting us get a peek behind the curtain. Okay. So we learned Letitia's been in the gym, she's been meditating more, and she just opened Leticia Pearson Enterprise. So it's like an office location, and the enterprise itself houses several businesses. And she says she's shooting for 10 streams of income. Girl, I'm shooting for 10 too, but it makes you tired, baby. It makes you tired. I'm tired all the time. I really, really am. But we're gonna get this work. Okay, how about that? Anyway, she is still interested in Farish Street. And by the time you watch this, you guys will already know that I had to go to Jackson, Mississippi this week for a press tour to get a feel for Jackson, Mississippi. We went with OWN and literally rolled out the red carpet for us. And that was very, very exciting because they talk so much about Farish Street. So it's exciting to be able to go to Jackson, Mississippi for the first time and actually get a feel for what it is really, really like there. So look out for a separate travel vlog for the Jackson, Mississippi trip coming on my personal channel. I will be putting a lot more content. I'll be promising that I'm gonna put more content. I have videos lined up. Okay. I just have not put them out yet because there's been so much content on this channel that I hadn't had time to really post and promote. But I think what I'm gonna do on that other channel is just start putting them out, and then y'all just see them whenever y'all see them. You know what I'm saying? And then just rolling the stuff out because I got a lot of content. Okay. But meanwhile, shout out to OWN for sending your boy down. I actually was able to watch the episode early. And by this point in time, when you have seen this, because I'm recording this video early, I will have seen episode 2 to give you guys a little taste of exactly what episode 2 is given. Okay. So be on the lookout for that. I'll probably put a note in the community to give you guys a sneak or at least an opinion about what's happening in episode 2 before it airs. Okay. So anyway, that's that. We learned that Letitia's personal life is a struggle and she's currently staying with her mom. Now, we learned that she is separated from Glen because she doesn't trust him. After he proposed, she found out because, he had proposed to her again last season. But after that night, apparently he was texting and inboxing some other women. And apparently from this affair from like 8 years ago, There's an outside child allegedly that's a mystery that's floating around about that she wants to know if the child is his, because they also have their own 6-year-old named Josh that they are co-parenting. So Glen stops by, and everybody, she, her mom, and Glen, they all seem to be very pleasant. Um, and he is still in shock that they are in this place that they're in. And she's trying not to talk about it right now. And he thinks that she's dodging the conversation. And he tells her, you can't keep running because Mississippi is real small. And so, when Glen and Josh leave, she breaks down in tears and she reveals that she feels lost. Clearly, there's a lot of love that's still there. I think that every marriage is different. You know what I'm saying? And every relationship is different. And cheating for some people may be a hurdle that they can cross and move on through and work through. And for some people, it just may not be. Let me know in the chat. I mean, this is just honest, real grown folk talk. Is cheating the ultimate deal breaker for you? I want to know what you guys think about that. Let me know, like I said in the chat, is cheating a deal breaker for you in a relationship? Yes or no? Okay. Now we get to Miss Marie, and prepare to get your tissues out. Okay. Um, Marie has a new look. She has several multi-million dollar businesses, and she is very credentialed. She says, you name it, I own it. Okay. She's expanded her empire. And then she brings up Essie, okay, her business partner, and she addresses the lesbian rumors right off the rip. She says she loves the men's, she loves the D. Okay. Anyway, her relationship with Cedric is still awkward, okay? And she just can't deal with the infidelity of it all, okay? We learned that she has a full house in Jerez, okay? And her other kids are living with her, and her mom is living with her now, too. So apparently, her mom was discharged from rehab just 3 months prior to, and is still dealing with addiction issues. Now, here's where things get even crazier. So apparently, there was I don't know if it was like a drive-by shooting. Something occurred where Jerez's baby mama was in her car. Her life was taken in the shooting, but thank God that the baby was unharmed. So now they are in a situation where she has been, helping take care of Jerez, and now she has to also step in and help take care of her grandson because, he's left without a mom. And it's just so sad because the reality is that this just happened, and we get to hear Jerez's perspective as well. And honestly, I'm almost in tears, and just to know that there's so much on Marie's plate. It's amazing to me that she is able to run and manage all of these different businesses and be so successful at them. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's amazing to me. It really, really is. But even in the midst of all that turmoil, there is this idea that there is still joy there because the grandson is still he's not aware that mommy won't be back, and it's sad, but because our grandson is still a child, there's still joy and there's still hope, and hopefully it is Marie and Jerez that can really uh take him and really be fill in that gap. You know what I'm saying? Um, Anyway, so Tambra Cherie, the midday diva queen, we learned that she has released an immunity tea that's in stores, and she's hoping to get that more across the country. I love how this show does a very good job of spotlighting the women and their businesses. I am absolutely enamored by that, because I just think it's so important to show, successful people of color, successful Black people, and the things that they're doing. Because when we see these things on the screen, we are allowed to see ourselves in different spaces And it allows us to see, oh, I can go get that. Oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do that. You know what I'm saying? It does something. You know what I mean? Anyway, um, she's going to the fertility clinic. Okay. Now, this scene is intercut with another very important scene. So Leticia is at her office and we meet Taisha. Okay. Taisha, kind of like Tasha, but Taisha. Okay. Uh, if that makes any sense. It is Taisha. Okay. So apparently Taisha helped Leticia with the decor. And you know, Taisha's just happy Letitia's out the house. They want to have an event to celebrate, the success that Leticia is experiencing as she's going through this storm in her personal life. So they run down the list of ladies that they want to invite. And so when Leticia gets to Tambra, Taisha is like, "Oh, your play friend." Okay. So Letitia's like, no, what's up? And Taisha says, well, I've been your close friend for 20 plus years. Do you even know Tambra like that? And Letitia's like, now hold up. Is there something I need to know about her that you're not telling me? And Taisha is like, well, maybe you need to ask her if there's something she should know about me. Okay. So then the scene flips over to the fertility clinic, and Damon, who you guys may recall from last season, joins Tambra and they talk about having a baby together. Now, I am unclear in this very moment as I'm watching if Tambra and Damon are just trying to procreate together and create a baby so that they can be parents and co-parent and they just be good friends, or are they trying to have a relationship? I'm unclear about it, okay? And it's just going to get a little bit more murky before it becomes clearer. All right. So anyway, apparently, this is a follow-up from her fibroid surgery. She learned that she had like 39 fibroids removed after they told her initially that it was only 4 there. So then back at Letitia's, she wants the tea on what Taisha has about Tambra. Okay. So apparently, for the past few years, Taisha's been telling Leticia about a male friend of hers that Leticia only knew by the nickname Greedy. Okay. I don't know why he called Greedy, but if he want more than one woman, maybe that's why. Okay. Allegedly. Okay. Let me put this down here because y'all know. So, anyway, apparently, Taisha tells Leticia that Greedy's actual name is Damond. Dun dun dun. So back at the fertility clinic, Tambra believes that she would be a great mom and that Damond would make a great dad. So the doctor's like, well, what's next? And Damond wants them to be able to try to do this naturally, to have a baby naturally. And the doctor is like, well, from where you are now, are you having unprotected sex? And Tambra's like, no, we ain't had it. And the doctor is like, now say what now? Okay. Well, at least not unprotected. So she says that she wants to be married first before she get to have an unprotected sex with the men's, because she wasn't at a certain point trying to have no child. But girl, that might have just been smart anyway, because if he is allegedly messing around with Taisha, you would definitely do well to keep that thing wrapped up tight, okay, in saran wrap, aluminum foil, a paper bag, a plastic bag, a shoe bag, whatever, okay, allegedly. Meanwhile, um, back at Letitia's, she's got to process this new information. And Taisha says, I just had to be honest because once she realized that Leticia didn't know Greedy by his real name, she needed to be honest and come clean with her. And now the cat is out of the bag. Thank you, Messy Taisha, for letting us know this now when the cameras are rolling. We appreciate you, girl. And so anyway, at Latrice's high fashion tea, where there will be zero tea and zero crumpets, okay? Mel, the PR lady, be running late, okay? So she runs late. And next enters So Gucci, okay? We learned now when the name So Gucci is brought up, somebody says, I think it's Melanie that says JJ's wife. And is this the person from the Dancing Dolls or something like that? I know y'all said this person was on another show, but it's a show I don't watch. So I got to be honest with you that I'm unfamiliar with this man. Okay, I do not know this man. And so then we are introduced, and apparently JJ and Zaddy go back years before Latrice was even conceived. Okay, so introducing Miss Sophia Otis Williams, also known as So Gucci. We learned that she is the most successful real estate agent in the Jackson, allegedly. And then Tambra enters, and they got the green tea shots at the door, but it ain't no green tea. It's green. I mean, it's a green tea shot. But if you know what a green tea shot is, then you will know that green tea shots usually contain some Jameson. Okay, that's what I thought they were. But apparently, the ladies thought that they was actually green tea. But it was some type of 80 proof liquor up in there. That's how you start a party. I be telling y'all, when y'all want to have a get together, you want to get the people loose. And when they walk in the door, you get them a shot as soon as they enter. Okay, they really can't turn it down, and usually they don't want to. So anyway, Leticia arrives, and Latrice really wants Leticia to know that she really is her friend, because they had some sort of, at the end of last season, they weren't in the best of places around the reunion. And so Gucci begins the shade early, and she loves Leticia's dress. Oh my God, she loves it. But she just want to lick and slick down Leticia's edges on her wig, okay? I guess she was trying to say that it was lifted. So then they all, get to talking. Latrice introduces So Gucci officially, and Leticia asks where everybody is. And Latrice is like, I just wanted it to be intimate, and me and Marie don't get down like that, because Marie allegedly claimed that Marie allegedly claimed that Latrice accused her of Medicaid fraud. And so we get these screenshots appearing on the screen that's kind of disturbing, but I can't tell who the messages are from or what app it's on. Okay. So anyway, Latrice says, I'm deeply rooted in from the hood. So snitching ain't something that I do. So if I knew that you was doing some Medicaid stuff, I definitely wouldn't be the person that would out that information. And she don't have no time for drama at this point. Anyway, So Gucci suggests that some people are just in your life for a season, and that's all. And Tambra agrees and reveals that she's kind of stuck in a situation like that too. And so then Latisha then starts to ask her, well, are you still with Damon? And Tambra is like, yeah. Latisha says, do you want to propose to him to propose to you before you do this whole, IVF thing, or this whole egg situation, or whatever y'all gonna do? Tambra's like, yeah. And then Latisha in her confessional wants to tell Tambra about Taisha, but she was like, I don't have the information yet. And quite frankly, now would not be the best time to do so in front of a group of other women. Okay. Save it for private, which is what she did. Okay. Because that's what I would do in real life. But in a lot of reality shows, they'll just bust that information out there, and that's how you know that ain't a friend. But anyway, Latisha wants to know if he is solely into her, and he wants to be her wife. He wants to be her husband. So Tambra's like, yes. And Tambra thinks the questions are coming from a good place, because Latisha is going through her own struggles with Glen, but she is confident about Damon at this point. But she says out loud that the only thing that's missing is this ring, okay? And that she and Damon have always had the protected sex, okay? It ain't never been unprotected, and everybody's looking shocked. So Latrice don't believe it, because Latrice like, y'all been together for 100 years and y'all not having sex like that? It ain't adding up. The math ain't mathing. So now I'm like, I don't understand the situation. I know that Tambra and this man have been either, I guess, maybe on and off, or just friend. I don't know. I got to get more clarity on what they actually are, and I'm about to get it. So Latisha asked what I wanted to know. She says, so you guys are just linking up right now, because that's like your best friend or something like that? Tambra says, no, we are actually together. And Leticia's like, okay, great. Ugh, this is about to be sticky. So anyway, Tambra says the only thing that's missing is the ring. And Leticia's like, well, girl, Men can cheat on you with or without a ring. Look at Beyonce. Look at Halle Berry. Look at J-Lo. The ring don't mean a thing. Kim Zolciak. Okay. So anyway, Leticia just wants to make sure that Damon is 100% ready for her. And, you know, she talks about her own experience with Glen cheating, and she wants to know if this man, if this baby that's out there is his or not. So Gucci is like, well, will you be happy if you know the truth to that question? Leticia says that she is the type of person that if the baby is his, then she will want to take care of it. And so Gucci is like in her confessional, like, oh, heck no. You let this man take care of that child on his own because he the one that went out on his own and did it. Okay. I don't know how willing I would be to help take care of this man's other baby. Okay. I just don't know. Latisha, you is a good woman for that, but I just don't know if it could be me. Keep that child down the street, okay? At least, I mean, I got to get over it first. I know it might be the mature thing to do, but I don't know that I'm that mature yet. So we're just gonna work on it. I pray I'm never in that situation, but I'm just saying. So that scene is over. Then back at Latisha, she's on the phone with FaceTime Miss Marie. Okay. And then Glen surprises her with some flowers. Now, part of her wants to work things out, and part of her has kind of outgrown him. But he is proud of her growth and where she is. And she's like, I'm feeling good right now because I did this all on my own. Okay. So things get pretty tense very early because he says he's concerned about her, but she's like, I mean, you wasn't concerned when I was with you. You know what I'm saying? So in his confessional, he says that he will never give up on her. But she doesn't think that he is capable of being a one-woman man. Okay. She says that she also cannot fulfill the attention needs that he has. She can't be calling him all day. And I understand, girl, like it would be I have been in a situation with somebody that needed so much of my attention, but was still out there cheating. That needed so much of my attention, wanted me to, wanted to always have me at the beck and call, but it was never enough. So you never felt like you was doing enough, even if you was calling 10, 15 times a day. You know what I'm saying? That gets old real fast, and don't nobody feel like doing that, and don't nobody want to be held hostage to that type of situation. It is annoying AF. And if you need a whole lot of attention like that, then like you need to go someplace else. Okay. You need a dog. Meanwhile, that's when we learn again. I mean, because she brings up, the fact that he reproposed, but he was texting another girl the same night. And he admits, yeah, I'm a little less than perfect. I might be a little toxic or whatever. A little. I'm like, bro, that's very toxic. Anyway, he says he wants her to come home, and she says, you got to grow up and get rid of your hoe stuff first. You out here having unprotected sex. Why? Why is that? And then you're gonna come back and try to be with me after you done all that? You done stuck your thing up in somebody else. You done put it all up in there, and you ain't put a glove on that thing, and you just done stuck it up in somebody. You think you gonna come over here and stick it back up in me? Is this baby yours or not? Okay, that's what she want to know. So we end it right there. Baby, this was a good episode. I want to know what you guys think about it, though. Let me know in the chatterization down below. If you guys have not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and do so. Hit that notification bell button, and I will catch you in the next video.